Hi, this is BTRADES with a trade recap for Monday, February 9th, 2026. And today we kind of pushed up. We opened with a slight gap down, filled the gap fairly quickly, and then had a little bit of resistance at the high of day from Friday and last Wednesday. And once we broke through that and in a cluster of aggressive sellers, we continued to push all the way up to 7,000. Let's just go ahead and jump into the pre-market analysis and then into the charts, and we're going to take a look. We opened with this slight gap down from Friday's close at 69.49, and I had noted this cluster of aggressive sellers, which were right around 69.55 to 69.62, also above that psychological level of 69.50. I like to kind of note every 50 points on the ES, because price will tend to gravitate towards and react from there. So um, once we disrespected all of those sellers, we were headed straight for 7,000 and we moved there fairly quickly. If we can jump into the charts, we can look at the trade I took for today. We opened here and immediately we went down, wick down to sweep the liquidity from the consolidation at the end of day on Friday, and then pushed up and came about halfway back. Then we broke through and took out the high of day from Friday. And then we created an inefficiency and then we retested it. And that's where I took my entry. This I got in a little bit late, so this was only about a 3.2 to 1. Still a great trade. And that was it for me today. There was another trade that was presented, but it happened so quickly you would have needed a limit order to catch it, where we had this breakthrough here, this impulsive move that was breaking out of this level left behind this inefficiency, which was also had this nice internal liquidity. And we had kind of spotted this and said that this would be a nice entry if this would were to get swept. And but then it happened like in 20 seconds. So if you had a limit order sitting down here in the level, you could have caught this trade and taken it to this buy side liquidity and then psychological level of 7,000, which was right up here, which ended up being about the high of day. I think high of day was 7,025 cents. So that was pretty much today's price action. We just ended up kind of consolidating around here, which made sense because this was around the 695 strike on SPY, which was the maximum gamma exposure. And we kind of pinned to that level once we got up here. So I do expect probably more upside tomorrow, but we'll see what the pre-market brings us. And that was it, just another day of waiting, being patient, kind of identifying the area in which you want to enter your trade. Uh, well before the actual trade occurs. And I think that is really has been helping everyone in the voice room to not chase trades or to impulsively jump or to react to situations. And one trick that I do, which I wanted to share with you guys, was what if I'm not ready to enter a trade, I'll leave my account on sim on the side. And then I do copy trade several accounts with Replicanto. So when I identify an entry that I want to take and then price starts moving towards my entry, then I go and I switch to my leader account and then I'll enter the trade. And then once I take profit or exit a trade, I'll switch it back to sim. And then that way it creates like a little bit of friction before I can jump into a trade. I have to put at least a little bit of thought to go in and switch my account to a real account, one of my funded accounts. So that's a little trick that has kept me out of some bad ones. And there's even been times where I've been kind of induced to chase impulsively and then immediately in drawdown, I was like, oh, good, it's in sim. So it has saved me a few times. So that's a little trick I recommend. But other than that, we'll see you guys have a great night and we'll see you tomorrow.